close and to this darn thing that they tell you if you feel dizzy, put your head between your knees, because I swear, you feel like you're flying. That's how good the video is. All right. So if you come here, that's a must. You have to go in there. Some new things. A4 Skyhawk was used extensively in Vietnam, and they got this all laid out like a flight deck. Nice. They change this thing often, change it around and keep it fresh. This area used to look a lot different.
Because of moving propellers, moving aircraft, jet exhaust, and moving equipment, if you're not careful, you can really hurt yourself or hurt someone else.
How you doing? My name is Stephen Joseph Hongro. I am from Brooklyn, New York, and I am a aviation officer first class in the United States Navy. Feel free to hit the screen to learn more.
Oh, this is new. Nice. A flight deck of an aircraft carrier. There's a store. This aviation museum goes back to the beginning of naval aviation. As you can see, some of these older aircraft. This is a World War I display. They have guided tours here too. Now I'm going to show you something that I'm very proud of here. We're going to go into this QB bar and cafe. This used to be in the Philippines at the Officers Club. They took everything out of there and moved it to this museum. And two of the deployments that I was on, the plaques are in here. Let me find them. Look at this place. This is so cool. Yeah. Where's it at? Oh, boy. Ah, right here. I was on that deployment. That's a squadron, an attack squadron, and the USS Kitty Hawk Westpac, Western Pacific deployment, 1979. I was on that cruise, and there's another one in here. I was on the Kitty Hawk, and I was with a light photographic squadron. We took aerial photography and that, whatever, and look at this. All right. All the pilots. This is their domain. Let me show you. Let's look at their helmets. As you can see, some of the older helmets. You gotta understand military humor. It can be quite sarcastic, seditious. Oh boy. Oh man. I gotta find that other plaque. Oh no, I wasn't on that one. These are all different ships. and they represent deployments. Okay, that these squadrons were they're land based, but they attach to the carrier as what is called an air wing. And then when we're back from the deployment, they detach and go back to their naval air stations. Okay, hold on a second. I know that one is back here. Where's that? 84, 85, no. Oh, man. I was on that. I was on 79 to 82. And I'm not seeing it. Oh well. They changed these up, probably. See, this was all at the Naval Air Station QB Point, Philippines, and they moved it when they closed the base back in the 80s. They moved everything from that club here and set it up. 80, 81. Who was that? I don't know if that. Okay, you get the picture though. I'm just looking for 83. I wasn't. Oh, 79. I was on 79 to 82. All right. I cannot find the plaque for a deployment that I was on. Of course, this is sacred to all of us. Darn. Man, I'm getting old. I kid you not. I don't hardly see anything from the 1970s, late 70s. That's what they're doing. They're updating these things. You know you're getting older when they start replacing stuff. Okay, all right, whatever. This is the bar and grill. All right, let's continue on with our tour. As you see, these are retired aviators, Navy pilots that give tours, guided tours. This is all free.
Water-cooled engine needs fresh water. You can't use salt water. So you've got at sea, you've got to carry fresh water to use it.
Now we get up close and personal. These are older jets. All right. They changed these up too, because I'm not seeing. Oh yeah, they definitely changed it. I've been coming here for 20 some years, so. That's a World War II Corsair, I believe. Or could, I'm not sure. Oh. These are Coast Guard or Navy. No, Navy. These are training aircraft. This is what they train the pilots in. The older ones. They don't use these now. But anything that's orange. Look at this. I want to explain something to you. These are the P-40 Tomahawk, okay. these were used in World War II. Now, you know why they put the teeth on there? Because it freaked out the Japanese pilots. They're very, you know, superstitious, or you know, spiritual and all that. It freaked them out. That's why they did that. Now, this is where they have ceremonies, and President George Bush Sr. spoke here. And I've been here for retirement ceremonies too. It's like the primo place to get retired from the Navy. Look at that. And those are older Blue Angel demonstration team aircraft. A4 Skyhawks. Okay. All right. Let's go down there. Oh, they're showing a video on here. This is what you see in that IMAX theater, but you'll feel like you're flying. Oh yeah, and they got simulators upstairs. They got one that you go in and it goes upside down and everything. I went in there with my grandson. It was great. But if you look at that on 11-story screen, you definitely will feel like you're flying. All right, this aircraft out here, okay, they do got one. You can see it. All right, that was RF-8 Crusader. It was the last of the gunslingers. In other words, it had machine guns on it, and it was very powerful. It was very useful in Vietnam, whatever. But that aircraft there, when they retired that aircraft as a fighter and attack, they put cameras on it, 5 different camera stations, and that was the squadron I was assigned to, and we did photographic analysis of targets. Okay, now this aircraft is what Doolittle used to attack Tokyo. The Doolittle raid, the B-25. Yep, the Doolittle raid. That's what it says. I love what we did there. We told you after Pearl Harbor, we said, oh, yeah, well, we're going to come over and bloody your nose a little bit. And they launched off a flight deck. They stripped it down to just about only what they needed, and then Colonel Doolittle and his men flew off an aircraft carrier. This is an Air Force, Army Air Corps plane, and they're the ones that flew over Tokyo, and like I said, it was our way of reaching out and letting the Japanese know we can get to you. All right. A lot of old, here's a German. This is a German jet. And you got to remember, back in World War II, that this was new, this is brand new technology. And of course, the Germans were like, and they still are some of the best engineers in the world. Here you go. Look at that. Old. That's representing a dirigible airship. You know, remember like the Hindenburg? Well, they used them for war as well. That one is over there, the Forgotten War, Korea. They consider Korea the Forgotten War. All right, here we got a Japanese Zero. Okay. That's it, the real thing. Land of the Rising Sun. There we go. That's Japanese. Kanji, they call it. All right. This is like an island structure of an aircraft carrier. Oh, here. Well, I don't want to video kids. It's an anti-aircraft gun. Definitely stay away from people's children as best I can. And this, you can go up this thing. Oh, it's closed. All right. There's some more aircraft. The tail, you had a rear gunner on this airplane. This is a flying seaplane. Actually, and these things, once they went out of service, they got away from it. It says flight to Tokyo Bay. All right. Okay, they transported people around. They, of course, they had to take off and land from the water. The Navy's starting to experiment with that again. We got a model of an aircraft carrier. Give you an idea what it's like inside. Okay. You want to talk about a really good movie? This is a great movie, a true story about Jesse Brown. African American who went through hell trying to be a pilot in the Navy, and he was during the Korean conflict. There's a movie out, and he was killed. And they had to be really tough. I love this painting here. This is the coolest painting that I've seen in this, and they still got it up. Look at that. Oh man. Is that neat or what? You know, as an artist, I sure can appreciate that perspective. God, that's great. All right, let's get away. There's kids over here. All right, where can I go from here? All right. I'm not going to go through the whole museum. It'd take me, and you get bored. As you can see, they got these kids can get in here and play. They love it. And here is, look at these models, professionally built. This is the Enterprise, 65. I was on a Kitty Hawk. That was 63. I don't think they had one. Look at that detail. Those are the type of aircraft that when I was in, these are all older aircraft, though, believe it or not. Those are F-14s, even those are retired. Okay. All right, what ship is this? 78. Oh, this is one of the newer ones, the Gerald R. Ford. Okay. Now, they got different, of course. They got the newer F-35s on there. Okay. They're 78. They no longer have steam catapults. They have electromagnetic. And that's a whole subject in itself. Look at some of these. Look, here's an older aircraft carrier. See how they weren't angled. The older ones didn't have the angled deck. The angled deck makes it so the aircraft can come down, and if they miss the wires, they can just go off and keep them going. Just to let you know, when they come down and catch the wires, they don't slow the aircraft down. The wire catches them and pulls them. The tail hook catches the wire, one of 4 wires, and the tail hook catches it, and the wire is what stops them. Once they know they've trapped the wire, then they back off on the power. But they got to keep the power on, so they can continue flying if they miss it. Okay. And look at the old ones. The old ones didn't have the angled flight deck. Here's an older one. Just a straight flight deck. The older aircraft. Look at the detail. I love it. I saw one of these. I saw one of these where they had a guy getting sick over the side of the ship. I don't know if this was the one, whatever. The old ones had all those guns on there. Like this. Look at that. What detail. I'd love to have my ship in that model like that. I don't know. These are all really old. 27, good Lord. Okay, look at this. This is a ship's propeller. This, okay, what ship was this? All right. Okay, this is an older propeller from the Intrepid, one of the older carriers. It's pretty big. All right. Yeah, lots of things you can sit and watch. All right, guys, I'm gonna close it up here in a second. The Ronald Reagan. It's one of the newer aircraft. All right, I hope you enjoyed this, and I enjoyed doing it for you. So, all right, now you got another reason to come to Pensacola. All right, consider this a unpaid advertisement. All right, God bless you guys.